Yeah, super, super. Know it's my desire. Hey, higher, 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 higher. Hey, it's my desire. Hey, yeah. I said, Lord, take me higher, 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 higher. Lift your shore higher. Hey, lower, 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 lower. We're gonna stop the demon lower. Hey, super, 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 super. We got supernatural power. Hey, hey, Lord, take us higher. Hey, come on. Yes, it's my desire. Hey, hey, I wanna go higher. Hey, 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 higher, 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 higher. Lift your shore higher. Hey, lower, 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 lower. We're gonna stomp the demon lower. Hey, super, 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 super. Hey, super, super. We got supernatural powers. Hey, hey, take me higher. Lord, take me higher. Lord, it's my desire. Hey, higher, 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 higher. Hey, it's my desire. Hey, yeah. I said, Lord, take me higher, 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 higher. Lift your shore higher. Hey, lower, 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 lower. We're gonna stomp the demon lower. Hey, super, super, super.
Happy Halloween, y'all.
Super, super. We got supernatural powers. Hey, hey, Lord. It's my desire.
Hey there,
What's
tribe.
up, tribe? Hope you guys are doing well in positive energy and attracting the life you desire because it's your birthright, okay? We're coming through with another live for you guys. Make sure you take the message how it resonates in your life. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And don't forget, if you love the video, share the video out, run the video up, leave the video a comment. We love you guys.
So, happy Halloweens. This is Old Man Ari, and I'm from Baltimore City. I read the tarot now.
Okay, come on now.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna read a little tarot this morning. We're gonna get out a little message. Okay, Old Man Ari. Oh man, Lord, take me higher. I got a few downloads here. I'm gonna get into them, then we're gonna get into a message. I say, collective, these folks from your past is crazy. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Come on.
So you might as well keep on pushing, collective. The only thing you can do, keep moving. I'm gonna tell you, people from your past, collective, they only can see you one way. They can't see you no other way but one way, collective. So you got to keep moving. You got to keep going. It's gonna be all right.
You gotta keep going, it's gonna be alright.
God is by your side.
You gotta keep going, God is by your side.
That's right, that's right.
You gotta keep going, no more sleepless nights.
No more sleepless nights, collective. No more sleepless nights.
You gotta keep going, give it one more try.
These folks so crazy, collective, from your past that they don't even want to see you go forward. See, for you to go forward, it means that you expose a lot of things about them. So, henceforth, they're going to pull up things from your past, draw up different summaries about you, never mentioning their part in it. I stand to reason that if somebody going to come to me with a whole lot of gossip, I'm going to look at that person and be like, well, what kind of shape could you be in that you must carry so much misery around? Gossip is misery. It's misery.
Well, you know they say misery loves company.
Yes, misery does love company. Misery loves to draw narratives about folk. So, second download collective is mental health. Mental health is real, and your own is very important. Your mental health is important above everybody else. Focus on your mental health. You're going to be nothing without it. See, everybody talk about abundance and wealth and money. Yeah, that's your abundance. Your mental health is your abundance. Your sound mind, that's your abundance. Peace is your abundance. I stand a reason if you don't got a sound mind, you ain't going to enjoy no money come in anyway. So you want to be balanced, collective.
They gonna claim you incompetent anyway.
Yeah, you always gonna be labeled incompetent. That's what they gonna say about you. Last one, most important one. When explanation meets assumption, it make a mess of things. Tell your accusers to go post their my chart instead of indirectness.
Post a my chart. That's good advice.
Spirit says tell your accusers to go post a my chart instead of indirectness. Because see, when explanation meets assumption, it make a mess of things.
Come on.
Don't need no explanation, collective. You just be who you is. Do what you do. One thing about a person, when they can't do what you do, they gonna find a way to try to tear down what you do. See, what they really want, they want to slide in where you in. They want to get in and fit in.
Get in where you fit in.
See, that's what folk good at that. They watch you do a certain amount of work, and then here they come, right after the work is done. They want to be accredited for the work in some type of way. So when explanation meets assumption and make a mess of things, collective don't explain nothing. Let the assumptions rest where they may. Usually the assumer is in a bad situation. Explanation meets assumption and make a mess out of things. I stand to reason if you're moving forward, can't nothing behind you stick to you anyway.
They say opinions are like assholes. We all got one. Everybody
got one. And a lot of times, you know, one thing about it, me and my niece, we was conversating and we said sometimes you just got to let spirit remove the bots and the thoughts.
Yeah, the bots and the thoughts.
The bots and the thoughts, you know, right?
You just gotta let spirit do what spirit do. Don't worry about the outcome. Don't worry about what's dropping off, what's going on. Just get rid of the bots and the thoughts.
The bots and the thoughts. The unnecessary. Sometimes spirit use the bots to get rid of the thoughts and vice versa. Yeah. So let people fall where they may. Let them believe what they want to believe. You about doing a good work. When you about doing a good work, you can't come down from it. That's right. Stay in your lane, collective. Move forward. So we got these here cards. We're going to pull a few tarots. This morning.
We actually have designated moderators, but thank you for offering. We don't follow a lot of rules.
Yeah.
We just do us. Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? Where you at? What's up? So my message this morning, spirit will bring remembrance to our aid. Spirit will bring remembrance to our aid, okay? There could be a situation that comes up where, you know, your Akashic records kick in, you know? There's just something that just kicks in and allows you to know a thing, because spirit will bring remembrance to our aid, right? So you could be in a situation where, you know, someone's trying to back you up against the wall about something, okay? And I feel like, remember, spirit will bring remembrance to our aid, okay, when it's necessary. We got manifesting coming out this morning. We manifest and do less stressing. We pray to God, we get his blessings. Ching, ching, ching goes the money tree. The blessings flow in so abundantly. Our chakras lit, they're actually popping.
They popping.
We keep on going, we can't be stopping.
Oh,
Ching, ching, ching goes the money tree. The blessings flow in so abundantly. Yeah. I feel like that's what's happening right now.
Blessings flowing in so abundantly.
Okay? You know, when you are willing to be still, you know, and know that he is God. Now, this ain't gonna resonate with everybody, but this gonna resonate with who it's supposed to, right? When you can truly understand to be still, right, in a moment, in a situation, it allows divinity to do its job, right? You know, I was talking to my husband and we were speaking about how, you know, God is so kind, is so loving, is so caring that, you know, God doesn't want to get in our way. You know, when we feel like we got it, you know, when we feel like we don't need help, assistance, and aid, because we have free will, you know, God is so good to us. God is like, okay, I'm not going to get in your way. You know, why would I get in your way? I'm not here to get in your way. I'm here to assist, aid, and guide you, right? So it's like, you know, we get into the energy of, you know, wanting to do everything. You know, imagine you're supposed to work 8 hours, right? And, you know, your body is telling you only do these 8 hours, right? But, you know, your mind, you know, your human mind is like, you know, we got to get these extra 4 hours of overtime because we need this money so bad for things that we really don't need, right? So you go and you sign up for 4 extra hours of overtime that the Most High didn't tell you to do, but in your natural flesh, you decided this is what needs to be done. Well, God is so kind. God is going to allow you to do what you want to do. And when you're ready, God will be right there. See, God never switches up on us. It's us that do the switching up. Right? So, you know, sometimes we get in the way of divinity. And I feel like, you know, someone's learning that sitting still is allowing you to really catch these downloads, these blessings. You know, you're really able to manifest the life you desire. It says, sit still and move the universe around you. Okay? Visualize, attract, and mindset. Someone's changed their mindset. Okay? You could be having a spiritual awakening. Your third eye chakra, your ajna, could be really open right now is what I'm feeling. Okay? Something like that. We got manifesting. Something about Buddha could be significant. Okay, I feel like right now is the time to sit still. Now, you know, what I used to think, because I'm a Sagittarius and I love to move. So there was one point in my life where I felt like if I wasn't moving, things weren't being accomplished. But boy, oh boy, was I wrong. See, I was moving on my own impulse because I can be very impulsive. I got that fire energy. I want to run. I want to rip. I want to go. But sometimes the plan is not always right. You know, the plan is not always together. So, you know, when you have fire with no plan, sometimes that fire can end up at the wrong house, the wrong door, you know, whatever, right? So it's something about being able to sit still and allow the universe to move around you. That means you sit still and let God do what God does around you. You don't always have to make a move. Collective.
God is not the author of confusion. No, he's not. You got the 9 of Pentacles to the 5 of Swords. 5 of Wands. 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands to the 9 of Swords in reverse. So I'm going to step out of character and I'm going to read this because I'll try to read it in character. But the 9 of Pentacles to the 5 of Wands to the 9 of Swords in reverse. If you're thinking about taking a shortcut, don't. If you're thinking about manipulating the energies, don't. the reason why I'm saying don't do it is because all around somebody in this energy, it's a lot of conflict. It could be causing inner conflict, outer conflict. It's a lot of opinions, I feel, right? Now with the Nine of Pentacles, this is you, collective. You in your bag, you're doing hard work, right? It's satisfactory at least, right? You are accomplishing things. It may not be quick as you want, but nevertheless, I do see accomplishment. But with the Five of Wands, it's like around you is confusion. It could be, you could honestly feel like you're being, I feel like you could be in the energy of feeling like, did you even make the right move? Or, are you even moving in the right direction? That's what happens when it's outer conflict. Outer conflict, it leads to inner conflict. It's like people doubt themselves around you, so henceforth, when you connect to them, you doubt you. Not that they even could be pushing it, which a lot of them could be, but it's just the fact that you being connected to it, you could be feeling. It's like, it's kind of like a vicarious energy where, you could be letting other people's energy live right throughout you. Like, in other words, they have doubt, you have doubt. They undecided, you undecided. When you're not really undecided, but you feel that you're feeling what they feel, essentially, right? What I feel. Nine of Wands in reverse. Honestly, this is somebody, you at a frustrated point, you're tired. You could be about to take another alternative. The Nine of Wands in reverse is shortcuts, spell work, ways to get ahead, ways to move forward without being right. So, just if it's you, just don't. Just stay honest. Don't respond. Stay honest. Stay in alignment. Try not to focus on what's going on outside and around your home.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, I'm over here flabbergasted, and I'm going to tell you why. This is how in alignment we are, and, it's sometimes it's shocking, it's scary, it's like crazy. So, if you are one of our Soul Tribe members, we have not been online for 7 days. We do this sometimes. God tells us to be quiet, and we be quiet, and we don't get online, and we go into consecration.
That's right.
Well, we did, and yesterday God was speaking to me, and it's crazy. Shortcuts. When my husband said that, it made me think about what I wrote yesterday. One of my problems I had was admiring people that were receiving things through shortcuts or unlawful ways. And I felt like I was missing out on a blessing when I didn't understand that evil will hand out anything material-wise. Anything that comes from shortcuts is far from a blessing. And it's crazy, when he said shortcuts, it resonated so deep in my spirit. You could be admiring people, for what they have when you don't actually know how these things were achieved, right? You could be looking at God like, why aren't you blessing me? You're giving this person X, Y, and Z. You're doing this for X, Y, and Z, but you don't know how people are getting things, you don't know the shortcuts that people are taking. You don't know the sacrifices that people are making to get things. So if you want things, evil will give you things. It's not hard to get things if that's what you want, right?
So, people are sick with a lot of spiritual things. They sick with it. Like, what I mean by sick, like, people will begin to do things. All right, let me start here with it. First of all, people don't realize, like, we don't own spirits. So one spirit could communicate with me in a certain way. A spirit can communicate with another person in a certain way. It's all on your will. So what people are finding themselves doing is they doing like sick things, and they feel justified by it because they feel like a spirit is telling them. And it could be your ancestor, it could be. But one thing you learn as you begin to mature is that you don't listen to everything. You don't listen to every voice that come, because
Because every voice ain't God's.
some things you hear them and they sound like a wonderful idea and they illuminate you, but they not nothing righteous. Even when you're dealing with ancestors, every ancestor is not somebody to be proud of. Everybody that you deal with is not some. Because I see people, they be forlorn, they jump into things, they do things to people, and it feel good and it feel funny to them. But at the same time, you gotta watch because it has a backlash to it.
You know, it's so funny, the spirit of laughter, you know, and it's crazy because the spirit of laughter can go either way, right? It can become mocking and, you
A
know,
mocking
a
spirit.
mocking spirit. And I feel like that's very important, you know, that you pull that out of there because I feel like that's a lot of what's going on around. You know, there's a lot of mocking spirits, and you don't want to find yourself touching and agreeing with spirits that you really don't agree with. Right, so that's like if somebody try to get you in a situation where it's like, girl, look at her, right? As soon as you cackle, high five, touch, talk, you know, as soon as you find yourself in those kind of engagements, you have touch and agree with a spirit, and maybe you weren't aware. So I feel like it's very important to talk about, the spirit of laughter as well. Are you mocking a person?
You know, it's crazy because some of the most powerful people, when you dig into their lives, they have odd and complex stories, right? So it's never wise to like, like you just want to be careful because you don't know who is being used for what. Like everybody has a past, everybody has a narrative that can be shaped and bended and but you have to me what I do, thank you, Spirit, what keeps me in abundance, because abundance ain't got nothing to do with money. What keeps me abundant is staying away from those things. Like when somebody come to me with gossip or information about somebody else, I don't even allow it to come towards me because I know what it causes. Like I know what it causes inside of me. Like for instance, let's say Lala does a good work for me, or Lala helps me in a certain way, and then I let somebody come with some information about Lala that changes my opinion of Lala. The consequence not gonna lie on the person that bought the information. It's gonna lie on me because if I go against what God put in my life, or God gives somebody a word for me, and I go against him just because I heard something or something like that, right? It's kind of like just a nasty kind of energy. Like me, I try to stay away from it because you just never know who's walking with who. In these untoward days, you don't know who's who. You really don't know. Well, God be hiding behind people, and the devil do too. So you really just don't know who's who. So it's best to kind of like be so stuck in your own lane that you can receive information that can help you, and you can automatically stand against information that doesn't help you. Because just being a person that's looking to get information or be, it's going to kind of like lead you to not so good places.
Facts. Okay. I got quad sixes out here. 6, 6, 6, 6. And we got forgiveness. And it totally makes sense to me. Okay? Because we started off with manifesting. See, in order to manifest the life that you are manifesting, that we are manifesting, it takes one's forgiveness, And I feel like that's where a lot of people are stuck, That is the difference between this collective and, the karmics. The difference is that, you were willing to forgive. See, people think that they can go around and, they can just hold, anger, malice, envy, jealousy. They can hold all of these things, and not forgive. And that is where people go wrong. When you are not able to forgive, how can you be forgiven, right? To forgive is to be forgiven. So it's like, someone had to learn here in order to get to the next level. I have to let go of these negative emotions. And I feel like someone did that, you know, and it could have been hard, you know, because when someone hurts you, it's like, you know, it makes me think of a Jasmine Sullivan song. It's like, you know, you deserve everything I did, you know, because that's how you feel at that moment. But I feel like someone is spiritually mature enough to know, like, no, okay, I cannot do this. I feel like there's someone here, you even may have stopped listening to certain readers because they were negatively influencing you. You know, I know a lot of people are like, my ancestors said I ain't got a deal. My ancestors said take them down, burn them up, throw them around, right? Kind of energy. But, you know, I feel like someone was smarter than that. You know, they understood in order to move to the next level, I have to give forgiveness. You know, I have to show forgiveness, and I have to be able to forgive myself. We got self-awareness, forgiveness, professionalism, empathy, tenacity, and freedom. Yeah, you're free. You're very tenacious. You never gave up. You know, when things got hard, you still showed up. You were still there, you know, present, something like that. It says let go of what no longer serves you. Stop holding on to grudges. Express your emotions and aim towards a compromise. Where there's a lack of understanding, it's best to just move on. The truth will set you free. That's real. You know, sometimes it's best to not explain yourself and just move forward, because a lot of times, you know, there's no explanation needed. To be honest with you, people know who you are. A lot of times, the people that we deal with, you know, they know who they are, the evil forces that they deal with, and they know who we are, you know, and that's just what it is. A lot of times it's us not being aware of who we are. And I feel like, you know, in this kind of energy, the truth will set you free. You know, holding on to things that no longer serve you won't get you anywhere. You know, not being forgiven won't give you peace. Okay, something like that. Forgiving. Someone also forgave themselves. Okay, that was a hard thing to do. You know, because I feel like, I don't know if you were very promiscuous at one point, and, you know, maybe you could have been really hard on yourself for being this type of way. But, you know, nobody understands that, you know, your brother was doing things to you. You know, nobody understands that, you know, the babysitter was touching on this young boy, right? Nobody knew that these are the reasons why you were doing the things that you were doing. So I feel like someone finally is able to forgive themselves for some of their behaviors, you know, but they're also not being a victim. They're like, you know, going forward, like, okay, this is what I did in my past because I was unaware. But going forward, now that I'm more aware, you know, I have an understanding of who I am and what I'm here for, this will never happen again. So kudos to you. Okay.
I got the 9 of coins to the 8 of coins in reverse to the justice. Now, somebody, you got all these wonderful gifts and all of these things that God gave you, but it feels meaningless to you right now. You have a lack of meaning behind yourself, which means that you got to go deeper. You got to go deeper. See, the 9 of Pentacles is a secure energy where I'm comfortable. I don't need a title. It's me and God. We good in the 9 of Pentacles. I got the blessing. You might not get it, but I got it. But the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, you're working wrong with what God gave you. You uninspired right now, right? But it's okay because you got the justice, which means that the ability for you to balance yourself out, it lies on you. The justice is there, meaning that you have to step into your truth. You have to step into your clarity, because God not going to force you in there. He just ain't going to do it. You'll sit there with all that gifting and knowledge and all of that in being reversed with the 8 of Pentacles, no self-mastery. See, the 8 of Pentacles means you got to master yourself. You got to take what the Lord gave you, what God gave you, what your ancestors gave you, and you got to work with it, sort it all out, cut off the voice of other people. Yeah. Sometimes even your elders, because sometimes your elders been misled. So you got to go deep, deep, deep within. That's 8 of Pentacles. self-mastery, where you get the word from a place so deep that most men won't even comprehend what happened. You just gonna pop up and show up, moving different and talking different. That's 8 of Pentacles. Use your intuition to set your moral compass. That's what the Justice card read. So this is a clarity, Libra energy. You gotta step into your own justice. God ain't gonna force you into clarity. God loves us so much that Lala say that God loves us so much that when we busy, he don't get involved because he don't want to mess up our arrangement. Which means, see, you so busy doing things that God don't want to get involved and mess up your plan. But it's leading you away from self-mastery. I'm going to tell you that now. Because it's a need for you to probably be still. Allow inspiration. You know, one thing about inspiration, you can't go find it. It got to come to you. Inspiration, it will elude you. When everything ain't right, you will be uninspired. Won't find inspiration, but find alignment, and then inspiration probably live around the corner.
I just heard Jessica, Shayla, Jamar, Landon. This could be your name or significant here. I seen the Tower. There could be someone trying to avoid something that's the inevitable here. We can't get away from things that are meant to be. Strength. I don't know if you're a Leo that I'm talking to. Okay, you could just be needing to understand that you are strong. Okay, someone needs to be courageous in a situation. Something like that. You know, when you look at this Strength card, there's a woman and she is able to open up the mouth of a lion. Okay, that's very impressive. That's a abnormal amount of strength. Something about that. Okay, something about your strength is here. You know, I feel like there's someone, and maybe even, you know, it takes a lot of strength for you to sit still, you know, because you are a person that really believed that, you know, you were in control of your own life at one point. And now that you're allowing spirit to lead you, to guide you, you know, you could be seeing how strong you really are by just being still sometimes. Something like that. You know, a lot of times we feel like we have to fight battles that are not even ours to fight. Okay? And then we go out here and we get caught up by things that were never even our own problem. Yeah, we got the 6 of Swords in the reverse here. There could be someone trying to move away from a situation that's not, and you can't go. Something like that. You know, there could be someone really in a situation where it requires you to be courageous. It requires you to use your strength. And you could be just trying to walk away from it, back out of it. But, you know, this is a situation that you can't get out of. You know, there's no going forward until something is complete here. Okay? Something like that. You know, I feel like this is a situation, you know how sometimes it gets hard and you just like, I want to give up, right? But it's no giving up here, because it's like if you give up, you won't get anywhere. Giving up is not an option in this kind of energy here. Okay? There could be someone looking for assistance from their ancestors, their guides, or something like that. And they could be like, you're on your own with this one. That's what I'm feeling as well. You know, sometimes we get so wrapped up in, you know, looking for an answer everywhere except for right here. You know, sometimes it's like, you know, you're calling on the ancestors. You're looking for an omen, a synchronicity. You're looking for all these different things. And God is like, everything you need is right there. And until you understand that the answer is right there, you'll never feel like the answer has been given to you. You'll be looking for an answer that you already had. You ever been on a search for an answer that you already had? And I know this to be true because I told you I seen the Tower and it's back. Okay, there's something that someone can't get away from. Now, this doesn't have to be negative. Sometimes it's just the shit we don't want to deal with. You know how you may be going through a financial situation. I remember one time when I couldn't pay my car payment. I was going through a financial situation and I couldn't pay my car payment. Oh my God, I did not want to call those people. It was so stressful to me to have to call these people to be like, I don't have this money, right? So I would try to avoid it and avoid it and avoid it. And you know what happened? Because I didn't call, my car ended up getting repossessed, the tower. It was the inevitable. Why? Because I didn't want to take the chance. I didn't want to make a phone call. I didn't want to step up. I didn't want to be courageous and be like, you know what, look, this is what I'm facing. You know how sometimes we just want to run away from problems? And, you know, God is like, all you have to do is stand up to the challenge. And if you stand up to it, I will assist you through it. But if you run from it, you know,
hey,
something like that.
Banana says you cannot run from a tower.
You see,
it is the inevitable.
Somebody tried to get him to roll off the table.
This is Banana. He was born September 20th.
Yes.
That's his birthday.
Yes.
He's a Virgo.
Yes.
Now, Banana says, right, you cannot run from a tower. It's inevitable. All right? Now, you got the Five of Swords to the Eight of Cups to the Five of Swords in reverse. I love this for somebody. Air to air. Air to air, right? Air to air is knowledge increasing. Like you went from, you know how they say faith to faith? This is a place where you were confused, Five of Swords, maybe even aggressive, right? Maybe you didn't know no better. So that was just the way you were. You were in that mode. You know, you were confused, defensive, aggressive. We get like that. The Eight of Cups shows you abandoning that behavior. The Eight of Cups is Eight of Cups with it, moving on up with it. Life gritty, but you gotta get tough with it, right? So Eight of Cups is my card of being able to walk about of things. Like, you know, I heard a post, I seen a post by Terrence Howard. I'll be looking at this post sometime. It said, some things don't deserve a response. You just have to vibrate at a higher frequency than somebody you doing that, right? Eight of Cups to the Five of Swords in reverse. See, at first you was in the Five of Swords to the Eight of Cups, which means you was trapped and you was confused. You was trapped by the confusion. And if I'm trapped by the confusion, I'm confused, whether I want to admit it or not. Because if I'm allowing confusion, you know, if I'm allowing confusion, what other people say and do to affect me, no matter how much I think I'm not, I am. I'm affected by the confusion. So somebody made an adjustment, right? Eight of Cups is a sudden adjustment, a sudden evaluation. Like, you know how you look at something and be like, man, I ain't looking at that like that no more. I don't see that like that no more. I'm going to change the way I see that. That's what leads to the Five of Swords in reverse. You straighten out the confusion within yourself, and it gave you a better outlook on other things, right? It's clear. I like it. Air to air. Five of Swords to the Eight of Cups to the Five of Swords in reverse. You know, that we started off the download, we were saying that, you know, folks from your past, they crazy because they want you in this place of confusion. Some people, and it's sad to say this, but some people will watch you in a state of confusion and never say anything to you while you're confused. They never throw a lifeline, never throw help, never. But the minute you walk up out of confusion and you find solid ground, they'll have everything to say. And those are the type of people that you can't let disturb you at all, no matter where life is leading you at. Because why? Why would I? Like, you wasn't there when I was in confusion. You didn't help me get out of it. So don't clock my tea. Ain't that's what they say? Don't clock my process. Don't be a person that's behind me saying, well, did you know this, that, and the third about them? No, I know I see them moving forward in life. That's what I see them doing. I see them stepping into their gift in life. I see them being a help to themselves and others in life. That's what it's really about. Because this is what's keeping the Five of Swords in reverse. Let people say what they may, right? Like, your ancestors said, tell your accusers to go post a my chart. Instead of posting an indirect post, pull up that my chart. Post that. That's what the ancestors saying. People, you want to post about people, you want to post about things, you want to have something to say about people, post your my chart. And then we could actually assess where all this confusion be coming from, because people they not healthy as they appear to be.
What's up, Bumblebee? Hey, Beans.
That beams.
We got the Ten of Cups coming out for you, okay? This is like complete emotional, maturity, complete emotional completeness, The Ten of Cups is where you just feel good, It's like everything emotionally is okay, right? I feel like, this is a person who is learning to become a master of their own emotions. I feel like a lot of us, when you're an empath, people try to use that against you. So a lot of times people would try to play on your emotions, and even your responses were very emotional at one point. But I feel like because you have learned how to control your emotions, they come in waves. So learning that I feel this way this moment, but the next moment I may feel different. Learning that if I don't react and respond to things right away, it gives me time to process how I really feel. Because a lot of times we just react, but we don't actually understand how we really feel until we let a thing process. So I feel like with the Ten of Cups here, there's someone who is emotionally fulfilled. I don't know if you just are creating a loving family right now. You could be really happy with your partner, your children, your family, your career. You could just be overall happy with where you're going and how life is looking for you. Okay, 10 is like completion. Okay, so I feel like there's something here that is complete, and it makes you happy emotionally. Okay, let's see. We got the Hermit here. Someone did a lot of work on themselves, okay? So this message, I know it sounds cute, but it's not, it's not going to resonate with everybody, and it's not supposed to, because let's be real, everybody does not do the work, okay? So this message is only going to resonate with a select few, but I'm talking about a person that went inside, okay? Now, I don't know if you're a Virgo that I'm talking to. Something significant could have happened in Virgo season, okay? Or, you could have just had to really adapt the Virgo energy, where I go in, I take the light, and I look inside of me, okay? Virgos love perfection, so they're always looking at ways to perfect self. And I feel like this is what someone's done. Okay, someone went inside the little parts in themselves, even the darkest parts. Those parts that we want to hide about ourselves, right? The little nasty things you do, like you might be a woman that spits or something, right? You might be a man that, I don't know, you guys do nasty stuff too, right? People do things that they don't want people to see, right? So those little nasty bad habits, those little things about us that we don't want people to see. I feel like someone's even willing to shine the light on those parts of themselves, because they're learning that, like, none of us are perfect. We all have things about us, and if we can look at everyone like that, the world would be a much friendlier place, right? I feel like the world is so angry and mean because everybody expects perfection, and it's like when we don't see perfection, we're looking at people like, I don't know, she cute but that, he cute but this. I don't know, that looks good, but I would have wore these shoes. Well, she ain't cute if wouldn't have that hair, or he only look good because he has this shape. But those kind of things. I feel like the world would be a nicer place if we all understood that we have these little nasty dark spots about us, even though we are light, right? So I feel like there's a person who is been definitely taking a look at themselves and is bringing total happiness. I'm talking about where like you could have been a person finding yourself in little pieces of depression every now and then. Like, why am I depressed? God is taking care of me. I have a loving partner, this and that. But you could find yourself, sometimes feeling down and out and full of doubt, and disbelief, right? And I feel like, definitely projection, but you've gone in and looked at your own insecurities, and someone had to address these things, because a person will never make you happy. Money will never make you happy, right? Total happiness comes from loving one's self. And, I feel like someone's learning this behavior.
When you're dealing with the energy of projection, it comes in strong, right? And I'm gonna tell you how it could be feeling, because I know this. When you're trying to go right and you're trying to do right and you have a past where you've been wrong, like me and most of us, the projection is coming from the energy of your past. Like what you feel is a lot of projection from people who don't want to see you lift off and leave them. People who see you doing something that they wish that they could be doing. People who knew you had the ability to achieve things, but prayed that you would never step into it because it would force them to move around. So when you're dealing with projections, you're dealing with all of these. They come from past people. This is why they say in the Bible, a prophet is never accepted by their own. It was basically saying, when you a person that carry a prophetic energy, your story is already written. When God has already written your story and it's just a matter of you stepping into it, it causes people to feel a certain type of way, because for one, it's a power at work greater than them, and nobody wants to. I deal with people like that a lot. I know people from my past who deem themselves powerful. They in their own right, maybe they have titles, maybe they don't, but when they see God's plan unfolding for my life, right, in the same way with yours, it makes them have to draw narratives, or it makes them have to do certain things. And the reason why is because God's hand is greater. See, God will move you from air to air. Five of swords to the five of swords in reverse. Air to air. And when God does this, naysayers, not all naysayers, people who have a lack of understanding, a lack of insight, a lack of a true connection to the Most High, they will judge people. Then you have those, thank you, Spirit, you have those people who feel like your demon is slicker than theirs. Let's be real. You have people, they willfully do all this evil shit and they still don't come out to be slicker than you are. So what happens is, sometimes the energy is basically like jealousy, within a nutshell. You're dealing with all of these projections. And when they come in, a lot of times they'll flood you, especially in the morning. When you wake up in the morning and you just feel all of this energy, or you see indirect things happen. All of this stuff, I'm just saying, like, all of this stuff is projections. And it's definitely there, I feel, to keep us on point, to keep us sharp. And I draw inspiration from it. Every time I see somebody playing around in my energy, me and my wife, we'll sit back and I normally pray for people, because I know that they don't understand necessarily God's level with me. And it's a lot of people like that. Like, God just has a level with certain people. It's not that nobody's better than anybody else. It's that some of us are willing to receive God at that level. Right. And if you never met God at the lowest point, then it's hard for you to understand somebody on that level with God. Somebody that can really reach, that can reach the most high in spite of themselves. People don't like to see that. See, what people actually like to see is they like to see other people's evil on display while they covered their own. It's like, look at them. And that's another level right there, right? So you have 9 of Swords to the 8 of Swords in reverse, to the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And this is a matter of a problem being larger than life, and then you getting up on it and being like, oh, this little thing, this ain't what I thought it was, right? That's the 9 of Swords to the 8 of Swords in reverse. The 9 of Swords is like when you're looking at a problem and it feels so big, you know what I'm saying? But the 8 of Swords in reverse is getting up on that thing like, oh, this ain't what I thought it was. I can deal with this. Now, the Knight of Pentacles it says avaricious behavior, right? Avaricious is exceeding greed for certain things, right? But it's also mixed with a lack of courage. So what I see with this, surrounded by a Knight of Pentacles and avaricious energy, this could be people that's very slow and unwilling to change when it comes to your energetic field. People who, they see God giving you this abundance. They see you moving in this healthy energy, right? They know you healthy. They know this. And they know that God can only make you this way. See, even in spite of all the narratives that they spin about you, God places a health on you. And the reason why God does this, it says that we will have great countenance. God will put good countenance on you. And the reason why God does this is because God needs your very energy to stand up to scrutiny. That way you don't got to protect yourself against rumors. Why? Because it's a countenance on you. When it's a countenance on you, that speaks to rumors for you. You know, people look at you and they be like, I know that person ain't sick like they said. I know that person ain't unhealthy like they said. I know God with that person. I don't know how God with him, but God with him though. That's the energy that surrounds you. That's called good countenance. So the people that go against that, they have their day in the sun where they laugh and they get a few followers. But normally it ends up with people looking at them like, oh, you the one who's sick. Oh, God ain't with you. Oh, that's why you against. See, that is just the way that God does the avaricious. Like, you know, people that want to appear wealthy and be greedy about it. And God deals with these types of energies in his own way. And see, people slow to move out of that. It's a lack of courage. You know, it takes great courage to admit that you're wrong about somebody. Most people don't have that. Like, for somebody to sit back and say, I labeled that person as a devil, but my bad, I was wrong. They really out here doing God's work. People don't have that type of courage, so they stay in the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. A lack of courage. Even obsessed sometimes with bringing you down. This is something that you have to face. Like I said, it's all 9 of Swords to the 8 of Swords in reverse energy. Meaning, a bunch of problems that appear to be big, but then when you get up on them, they this little. They be that little. Right, Banana? Banana said... Banana said they look real big, and then you get up on them, and they be that little. Right.
Banana birthday, September 20th.
Banana birthday, y'all. His birthday, September 20th. He a Virgo.
We got quad threes coming out. 3, 3, 3, 3. Divine timing. You guys know this is one of my favorite energies here. We got divine timing. Realistic, practical, approach goals. Divine timing, ambition, and cooperation. Someone's cooperating with spirit, so it's easy to work with you. Remember I said in the beginning that if you're constantly busy, God does not want to get in your way, because God is so loving that if you got it, God doesn't want to get in your way because you have free will. So there's someone and you've been cooperating with spirit. I love this for you. It says you have the benefit of good fortune. And if you use your wise judgment, you can do anything. In this place, you can reach new heights. You should not act on your potential. You should act on your potential when you see this pattern, since what you plant will grow. You're about to experience a spectacular ascent. I told you someone's going through a spiritual ascension. And I know you're like, I've already spiritually ascended. Well, we go through several ascensions throughout life. And I feel like, you're going through another one. Yes, another one, okay? There's something about you that's changing and growing. It's crazy. You could be finding yourself, introducing some old people back into your current energy, right? So let's say, there's some people you haven't really been talking to while you've been going through your ascension. Well, God says it's okay to let these people back in with caution, right? But then you get to talking to these people and you understand why maybe you were separated from them, because, your conversation does not match things in your past. Okay, so if people are not willing to come with better conversation, if people are not willing to, upgrade their vibration, then you probably don't have anything to talk about with people. It can be feeling very like, awkward when you deal with certain people because, certain things just don't resonate with you anymore, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, the Ace of Wands is here. I feel like there's a new creative passion beginning here for you. Okay, I feel like, you're using your magic wand, and it's like, if somebody's talking about something you don't want to hear, it's like, phew, bye. I'm zapping this energy away from me, something like that. There's a lot of new beginnings here. Okay, you could be very passionate about something right now. You could be passionate about starting something new. There could be someone moving to a bigger home. Okay, I don't know, it's crazy. I was talking to my husband, and I was like, I can't wait until we get, what we get, and I see it right here. There could be a wish coming true for someone, something like that. A lot of passion. There's someone that, a
lot of passion.
Yeah, it's a lot of passion.
See, the lovers, call me, yeah, call me the gangster of love.
What you got, Ore?
Banana is a Virgo. He was born on September 20th. This is Banana right here, right? Now, Six of Pentacles in reverse to the Emperor, which is good, because Banana said, somebody you stop giving to the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. You was giving to this Emperor, right? You was loving somebody more than you was loving yourself. I feel like this is a divine feminine. You was given to, it could be an Aries, right? Doesn't have to be. But it's crazy though. This right here, what I feel is actually so weird, because I feel like you were giving somebody they whole shine. Like,
giving you the best that I got.
You was giving somebody so much that they was shining on what you was giving. You was giving them, they was shining off of it. They see this wasn't the type of person that had the ability to shine alone, right? Whereas like, for instance, me and my wife, when we met, we were so intrigued because we had all these gifts that offset each other, right? And the chart said, the Sag and the Libra, they most compatible on all fronts. So we started to really see the Libra-Sag compatibility. But this is different. This, I feel like, is somebody that you literally took your essence and you gave it to somebody. And you illuminated that person, right? Now, I got two things right here, right? In one situation, you did that, right? And you was in complete alignment, right? And the result of it was the Lovers. Yup. You were able to give of your essence in such a way where you literally was able to illuminate another person. This could be your partner. This could be who you with. This could actually be what's going on. So the question is, why would you not continue to give, right? And it says, proud of riches, indolent, insolent from success, selfishness, unfairness, injustice, and power dynamic. Wow. You know what I feel like? I feel like somebody gave of themselves and now they mad because the person who they gave to is shine bright like a diamond.
Shine bright like a
right?
diamond.
And maybe it's causing a power dynamic, right? One thing I can say about this, y'all, and I'm a free giver. I can say this, thank you, Spirit. When you give of your essence of yourself, you can't marginalize how somebody grow from it. Because it was never yours to begin with. Meaning, if you give of your essence to a person and they take off and grow and become a star, you can't hold animosity and be like, man, I'm mad because I gave them. But that's
job well done.
That's right. You should be looking at it like, job well done. I done what God put me here.
Facts.
Somebody don't like that idea, right? You don't like the idea that you, as a person, your soul blessing is to be a blessing unto others.
You know, it's crazy.
That don't always set well with people. What
It
was
was
you gonna say?
No, because it was making me think about the story I was telling you yesterday about Miss Rachel and her husband. You know, how he was willing to allow her to shine and sit back.
Oh yeah, with the and now they making 20 million a year because
You heard me, Miss Rachel.
Right now.
What if she didn't? What if he didn't?
What if he did? What if he was like, I'm not gonna?
He's a Broadway musician. So it was like, he wasn't just nobody.
He could have just been like, imagine if when he was because that's a good example. So he took and gave of his energy in order to create success in his marriage. He gave of his energy and he played the background, right? Now, what if he would have been like?
Because he was a star too.
What if he would have been in this energy right here, where it was insolent from success, selfish power dynamic? He could have been like, oh, she growing. Let me stop. Because she growing, but I ain't getting no credit for it, right? A lot of people have a problem with this. You got to know your role.
Yeah.
Like if God made you a silent giver, meaning you give from a place where most people don't even see it. They don't even recognize it, right? But I can promise you, the universe doesn't let anything go unrewarded. But we block the reward. I've been in the role of a silent giver before, where I've gave literally of my essence and watch it grow. And then been at the place where I want to take some of that back for myself. Like, I didn't know that was going to take off like that. If I knew that, I'd have put that energy. But it don't go in, you can't put it in yourself because God didn't make you like that. It's for others. The energy is for others. So somebody, you can't become insolent and selfish when you pour it into people and they grow, and then some people outgrowing you, they getting bigger than you. It's gonna make you bitter if you don't appreciate the gift. If you resonate with the gift and rock with the gift, put it in its proper context and know thyself. Know that, I was put here to be a blessing unto others. So that's what I'm going to do.
There's reward in it. Great
Great reward. First of all, it's complete alignment. when you're in alignment, you get things out the universe that you never could fathom.
Right.
Somebody been and came and gave you a charge. I was ready to say a charger.
Okay.
Somebody been and came and gave you anything. You know, anything that you don't expect. When you in alignment, it will come and track you down. What's that? 6 of Wands. Bing bang. I saw it out the corner of my eye. That's what alignment leads to, y'all. 6 of Wands.
Yeah. High honors.
High honors.
You know, that it takes a lot of courage to sit in the background sometimes, because most star seeds, you know, to be honest with you, you got to remember, we're here for service. You know, our main job is service. And I know we don't like to hear that, right? It sounds crazy when I tell you that your God-given gift is not for you. It's for people, right? Because we are here to serve humanity. And, you know, with the 6 of Wands being here, someone's held in high honors, you know, to whom much is given, much is required, you know? And I feel like someone's being held up in high honors because even though sometimes you have to play the background, even though, you know, you may have written the song and they didn't put you in the credits.
You heard me.
Right? You know, you're still noticed, you know? You are still noticed. And, you know, how do you think it looks when you can sit back and know that you helped create something, but you don't have to seek the validation, but you can still feel that, you know, you're validated?
You feel it on a deeper, that's called vibrating at a higher frequency.
Come on now.
Because you can receive your appreciation if you can vibrate beyond this frequency. Like, this frequency attract us. It's like all these negative spirits, you ain't getting no credit. They shining and you put your essence into it and they shining for it. See, that's a low vibration. But if you go on a higher frequency, you can really feel God is pleased with you.
And we know that because what God has for us, no man can take it away.
Man, like I said,
what's for you is for you. What's for me is going to be for me. And that's real. Like, you know, we can think nobody can take anything from you. What God has already written, the plan, the map is already there.
You know, sometimes, and this is something that we were speaking about. My wife, I watched her stand up one day and say that we needed this amount of money for something. She was like, babe, I need you to get this for me, right? But the universe did it. And we didn't even notice it until we looked at it like, wait a minute, that cost the same amount as what we literally asked God to give us, didn't it? But it didn't come the way that we thought.
Right.
It's called the higher frequency.
Facts.
When you vibrate on that, you can get it.
You heard me.
Where others won't.
No, for real.
And if God gave you any type of gift, He gonna give you credit for it. The universe gonna honor you. Even if you are one of those people that's only put here to sow into others. Because some of y'all, I know, it's a lonely road. It's like, I'm always making somebody better. Yeah. I'm always pouring into somebody. Look, I go through it. Listen, let me tell y'all a little secret about myself. I got about 100 people on the fence, and all they do is run my name down. But they got blue checks by their name now. They trying to open up their podcast. So in other words, my job is done.
Yep.
Why? Because they are illuminated now. You understand? They are willing to seek a better way. Even if they don't give me credit for it, they might step to the mic and never ever say, well, he inspired me to do this, but I know. So the fact that I know and God know, my job is done. You understand? And that's the same way with you. You put in your 6 of Pentacles. You get out your 6 of Wands. Right?
Because I feel like,
this amounts to this.
That's real. I feel like sometimes we look for earthly appreciation where, you know, it's not an earthly response that you're really looking for. The completion comes from, you know, a spiritual place.
Divine realms, yeah.
So stop looking for earthly appreciation, you know, for things that you're doing spiritually. You know, you may not be fulfilled if you look for that kind of fulfillment.
And then abundance. Spirit want me to say something because some of y'all ancestors they're a little bit. I'm gonna say that they're a little bit confused, and this is the reason why. God done made it so many of us receive this abundance, but you keep looking everywhere else for it, and you already got it, right? If you healthy and you in a sound mind, this is not a cliche. There's the first. That's your first abundance. Because after the life that many of us have led, there's no logical way that you safe.
So what do you say to somebody in their 20s? You know, because in my 20s, if you would have told me at 23 that my health or my, was my abundance,
See that?
I probably wouldn't have listened.
Now, I may have not have heard it either, but the thing about it is there were not many people there telling me that.
True.
So whether you believe me or not, at least when you look back, you can say it was somebody there that was telling me that. See, when we was young, wasn't nobody telling us that your health is your abundance. People was telling us go out here and chase that bag down.
That bag, they like. I remember, it's crazy that you said that my husband said that, because I was just thinking the other day. I used to make posts like no days off, like that was a flex. Like, girl, that wasn't a flex. You beating your body up. You were tearing yourself. That was not a flex. When I look at it now, I used to be like, no days off. No, it's important for me to get my rest. My ancestors need rest. I got to rest for them too.
Chasing the bag, right? It's like an old quote. I think it came from the Dalai Lama. I'm not sure. But it says that men will sacrifice their health to chase wealth, right? All them overtime days, all them days when your body's saying no, but your paycheck calling for you. It says that men would do that, right? It says that men would sacrifice their health to chase wealth. But then in the latter days of life, they would use that same wealth to try to buy back their health.
And it ain't gonna happen.
Now ask yourself, where do you stand in the balance of receiving? Don't let nobody tell you that running yourself raggedy is the end thing to do.
You gotta work smart.
I'm chasing my bag, but your health is waning.
Right. What's the bag when you
can't enjoy the bag if your health. It's like, and that's the devil's way of rewarding some people for the work that they do in his kingdom. Because the devil wants you to run yourself ragged.
Yeah.
And that's what he'll do. He'll give you the money while you kill yourself.
Right.
Then he'll watch you try to take the money to buy back the health that you sacrificed, and it's going to be a no-go.
Because what do you see when people are sick, right? People that are unhealthy, what do you, when I look at an unhealthy person, you know what I see? A spirit that is down.
It's a
and
spiritual,
guess what?
Right.
Life is of the spirit.
Most sicknesses, like my wife just said, when you look at a person, the sickness, it oftentimes derives from something deeper on a spiritual level, right? And it's like, imagine a person that worked every day to prove to the people on social media, the people in their life, they work every day, post every pic, and get every hour to show you that I'm getting money, I'm about my bag, I handle my responsibility. But then when their health failed, all of those people that meant nothing, that they was looking for approval from, they're going to be their critics. They're going to be the same people that be like, well, they shouldn't have did that.
People love you for a moment, and then, that's how it goes.
I say that to say, don't never get caught up in doing. Learn how to vibrate on a different frequency where you receive your insight and your appreciation from God, from the Most High, where even if you land with your ancestors, anybody is better than these people on this earth that you lean towards, right? It's better to not be moving on that algorithm right there. That's where you being a people's pleaser. Like,
so real.
Anything outside of that, like, because people will never be pleased with you. They're not going to be pleased like that.
Nobody's going to be like, great job. Come on, you're doing great today. Yeah, I love what you do every day. No, nobody's gonna do that. Like, let's be realistic.
Not for people like us, 1022 on the clock.
Okay.
Right? People in this collective,
Happy birthday time.
we don't look down. It's not being down. It's not being a pessimistic. It's not being a Debbie Downer. It's not being none of that. It's being a consummate realist, right? We keep shit real because shit be real. And it's like this. People will never be pleased, right? If you come from a past where you made some errors, if you on a rise, people not going to be pleased with you being on the rise because they're going to be like, some people will even question God. God, why not me?
Yeah, because some people only look at you as Rhonda's daughter. Some people only look at you as Brandon's son. Some people only look at you as Alaja's granddaughter, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some people just look at you as the little girl from up the street. The little girl that was too fast. The little boy that smoked all the time. They can't see what God has done for you and to you over the years,
Corey's sister.
You know what I'm saying?
JoJo's mother.
Right. Bonnie brother.
Brittany's sister, whatever. Whatever.
Right.
This is what you're going to be looked at as people.
Fact.
So it's best to just go ahead and sop that up. Like, sop it up and get your vibration in order. That way, people are not in position to affect your moves. When you strengthen yourself the way that we telling you, when you affect it, it'll be from spirit. It daggone sure won't be from what people doing.
And it is so real. Look at what we do. We literally have been building our brand, right? By ourselves with no paid promotion, no scams, no gimmicks. We don't have no agencies. We don't do any of that, right? And imagine if we didn't have the self-motivation to get on here every day, because not everybody that likes us is going to put a like. Not everybody that likes us is going to share the video. In fact, the people that like us the most don't.
Most of the people that like and love, they are your number one. They your number one critics.
Right. So imagine if we didn't show up because we didn't get likes, we didn't get shares, we don't have a big following, right? And we just, so that means we don't show up because people know.
I'm gonna tell you, man, people are so fickle. One thing I learned about I learned this in life. People fickle.
Yes.
Right? And the one thing they what people be wanting to see? They want to see if you can be strong enough to stand up to their criticism. That's what people really look for.
They do.
Once you show them that you strong enough to stand up to their criticism, a lot of them fall right in line.
That's real. You ever had to cut somebody on a little teeny bit, like just to let them know, like.
And then some
you
people
got me messed up.
It's like that Jay-Z song where he was like, first they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again.
That's so real.
Some people just don't know how they can't get over themselves. Like some people, they only can move with the crowd. If you get 1,000 likes, here they come with 1,001 like. If you get 1,000 comments, here they go, they 1,001 comment. But the one that you really that really is solid for you is the ones that's in the cut all the time.
All the time.
They always there.
They ain't gotta do too much.
Because that's streams of connection, not critic.
Right.
See, critics, they come and go. They hop in when they think, boom, this, that, and the third. They want to get what they can get.
We got people like that all the time,
The strength and power from God enables you to stand up to all of that.
Yeah, that's real. Because you got to be able to pay attention to that too. Because we know that too. We have certain people that are only around us because they I know at any moment something good can happen. So I gotta be able to say I know them, close. Right? But at the same time, I hope it don't happen for them.
Yo, it's crazy that she talked about. We had one friend of ours that was cold-blooded, hanging with our spiritual enemies. I'm talking about in the bosom with the spiritual enemies. We talking about spell workers. We talking about witches and all that crowd. They were literally hanging with the people that was voodoo dolling us and all of that, right? Hanging with them, but coming to us to get readings. Though.
Tearing your life up. You tearing your life up.
And we looking at them like, and it's funny because this card used to come out, right? The particular person we talking about, So we used to watch them when the star card would come out. I'm gonna say it because it fell out. But this card used to come out during their readings every time. And I think that they were taking it like, oh, that they are a star. They can be in the, but people don't understand what the tarot is really saying.
Oh yeah, you are a star.
Right, you are that star, but do you really want to be on that side of being a star?
Okay.
Right? Because a star really merely means that you have the kinetic ability to attract. You're like a magnet.
And you can
right?
be famous for the wrong thing.
You can be famous, you can be real popular like how Jezebel was, right? Jezebel was a star, Archangel Michael, right? So a lot of people do need to learn tarot. Like we pulled tarot, but we made our bones with this. Cause people be like, them spirits, that spirits, them spirits. Man, this ain't for the faint of heart. That's the only thing I can say about it. Them spirits, those spirits, and all the rest of them in here. They all in here. Right?
Blessing show. What's up, Mamacita? I'm hungry, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. It's Friday, and I want a big breakfast.
Breakfast on y'all.
Okay, I want one of those. I want like some good breakfast, y'all. Okay.
You want one of them
big and hearties.
We want a big and easy.
Big and easy.
A big and easy.
Okay, with the drink on the side.
Treat old man already to a big and easy.
We want some spooky pancakes.
I want a big and easy breakfast.
With the
you know what the
pancakes.
big and easy is? The big and easy is potatoes.
Yeah, we like potatoes.
Pancakes. Coffee.
We like to eat, y'all.
Turkey, bacon, shrimp, grits, maple syrup. The big and easy.
Okay, I'm definitely ready to eat some big and easy.
Yo, look what just came out. The star in reverse.
We told y'all to start.
I told y'all, listen, y'all please be rocking with us. If y'all rocking with us, you know you blessed. Right? We ain't worrying about what they say.
Cause a rose is still a rose.
We really tapped in, y'all. Like,
baby girl, you're still a flower.
I think I be having to remind myself with that song. Cause you know I be seeing so many people just doing so much stuff.
You gotta remind.
They be 29 years old. They be elders already, right? I don't know.
Hey, Marissa.
But
hey, Empress.
Star to the star in reverse, right?
Hazel.
With that, I'm just gonna ask you, who are you being? Right? Remember, I just was speaking about the star card and then the star in reverse.
Because you could be a star for the wrong reason. Like, a star is a star. We ain't going to take it away from you. But how are you using your star qualities?
Ask yourself this question. Every conversation you get in, ask yourself, why am I here? Why am I here? Right? Because sometimes some things is funny, right? And they good funny. But every laugh ain't worth it, right? Because if you pull me into a conversation where I'm laughing and making fun about somebody that God is working with, it's not so funny then. Because you're going to get put through okay, Spirit says, tell them how it works. This is karma. If I laugh at a man or woman about what they doing or going through and God is on their life, God will immediately test me and see, can I stand up to that scrutiny? It says it. If you want a man blessing, you got to be willing to endure that man's sacrifice. So with that being said, every laugh ain't worth it. Ask yourself, why am I in this conversation? Is it going to benefit me, or is it going to make me have to deal with debt? Six of Pentacles in reverse is also spiritual debt. So ask yourself, is what I'm doing causing me, is it bringing me debt, or is it bringing me, is it bringing me a form of prosperity? Is it bringing me abundance, or is it bringing me destruction? Because it says the power of death, life and death flow right out the tongue. It's in the tongue. So maybe perhaps you, Star, whoever you are, then I got the Empress out here, right? I always pull us out. Ask yourself, Empress, what kind of star am I? Am I a star that attracts abundance, or am I a star that repels abundance? Do I attract negativity or positivity? Because somebody, you clearly got the ability to do either or.
Okay.
So you can hurt people, or you can help people, or you can hurt people.
It's very important for us to use our magic properly, because when you are a divine being, you have magic, no doubt about it.
That's right. It was
Now,
born in you.
Okay, the magic was in you. Now, how do you use your magic is the question, because that's very important. You know, how are you using your magic? Are you helping? Are you healing? Or out here manipulating, conniving, convincing, right? You know, because that's magic too. You ever been caught up by some negative magic, right? Have you questioning your whole life, right? But have you ever been influenced by positive magic that like really makes you look at life differently as well?
That's right. It's all about,
your energy.
which way you want to lean with it. Which way you want to lean with it. Like your circumstances and your situation, they don't get to dictate, what you put out. Just because you're going through something don't mean you gotta put out negativity. Just because you've been through something don't mean you gotta put out negativity. Just because you've been through something don't mean you have to receive the negative titles that people place on you. None of that, right? In fact, thank you, Spirit. The more you went through, the more energy you got to work with.
Facts.
The more you got to transmute. Once you really learn energy, the more you deal with, the more you got to work with. The more dominion you have, the more authority you have in the kingdom, the more you've been through. Not the less you've been through. See, we taught wrong. We think the less you go through gives you more. No, the more you suffer, the greater. The Bible speaks about no greater relationship than to know Christ and the fellowship of his what? Suffering. Because when you go through things, you just got more to work with on a spiritual level. Don't ask me. I'm the messenger, right? But it's the truth. Those who go through less, they have limited abilities in the spirit realm. Why? Because they haven't been through enough. That's why I could never listen to a 29-year-old elder.
The first part of testimony is test, T-E-S-T. You have to go through the test. You have to be tried in order to have a testimony.
You ain't got no type of crown on your head at 29 years old. And I'm not saying that to say nothing more than what you have exceptions to every rule. But at one time on a spiritual tip, it was a lot of stuff you couldn't even do until you was 40.
You can't be the president until you 45 or something like
That's
that.
on this realm, yeah. So if they acknowledge that on this realm, in the spirit realm, surely you gotta understand you're not this 32 years old and you an elder.
Wisdom is a crown.
You can't do what an elder can do at that age. Why? You don't have enough to work with yet. How? You haven't been through enough yet. Which means you don't have, in spite of what you may think, because I know people think, oh man, I don't know what he's talking about. Go get with your spirit people. For real. Not the Jack in the Box ones, because a lot of people calling on spirits that talk to everybody. Not them. Those spirits, you know what I'm saying?
They pop out like
man, they pop out. You be seeing people in their face when they get them little
like the genie.
Them spirits that like what I guess they call them nature spirits, where they kind of mingle with anybody and everybody. When people new to spirituality and they get with them, they think they done something. They be like, I'm all powerful. My ancestors ain't playing. Yo, you dealing with your spirits is weak, first of all. They young as shit. Yeah, them spirits, they little as shit. They as little as spirits. Like, they not big spirits. It's just that you don't know enough because you haven't been through nothing. So oftentimes people first touch a spirit, they ready to go out, and my ancestors don't play. I can make war with anybody.
She just be giving it up to anybody.
You see them all up, they face all out there on the TV.
Giving it up to anybody.
Listen, them spirits, a lot of them spirits, they not.
She don't know what she doing.
They
She
not
just be
that.
giving it up.
When you tap into some real authority, you gonna know because it's gonna hold you back. When you tap into some true spiritual authority, it's gonna make you find humility. A true spirit that has authority and ranking gonna first teach you how to respect other people. If you ain't dealing with a spirit that's teaching you that, your spirit is dumb and afflicted. I'm gonna tell you that because it's the truth, right? People mess with these spirits that convince them that they got the ability to go and mess with people. That's a very weak spirit, and it's going to bring a powerful consequence on you. See, them weak spirits, they love to get you in a place where they get you to do things and then they back away from you. Now you sitting there, no power, wondering how you got in the situation you in. You know why? Because you went in with them low vibrational spirits thinking that they was the Orisha.
She don't know what she doing. This girl
You
just
heard
be
me.
giving it up.
You was thinking you was going in with the Orishas, and you was going in with some other spirits that ain't got no. You was thinking you was tapping in with the Most High, but because your intentions is so foul and your mind is so corrupt, you was only tapping in with energies of the underworld. They tricking you. Because when you really tap into spirits that got powerful authority in the ethers, they going to teach you humility. They going to teach you how to keep your eyes off other people and your eyes focus on your walk. See, true spirits that have authority, they not looking for war. They understand warfare. Why make war when war's not needed? I be geeking off y'all running around thinking y'all doing something because y'all tapped into with some spirits. Y'all be talking about people, accusing people, asking people who they parents is in the spirit, and I didn't know they had so many children. Like, yo, that type of attitude is very wrong.
That'd be goofy.
And those spirits are going to lead you to a very powerful consequence, right? They always will. That's their job. Trickster spirits. What is a trickster spirit job? A trickster spirit job is to get you to move as crazy as possible and leave you stranded. Because when you know how people, they be up 3 a.m., they be feeling themselves. They be in there with the trickster spirits. And then when shit hit the fan in real life,
Conjuring up shit to text you.
they be looking like this. They go to call on that spirit is like this. And then they like, oh my God, what did I do? I did it. I'm telling you now.
By 7 a.m., the spirit done left them. Now they sitting there scared of what they called on.
Leave it alone. Put yourself, use some real sincerity. Get your heart really right. So when you tap in, it can be something that's real. Because there's so many trickster spirits, they just inviting people in.
Okay.
People thinking they can do any old thing they want. Like I said, they be 29 years old, ready to be an elder. Nowadays, you got people 30, they elders. 30, 32 years old, but they an elder. I stand the reason you just don't got enough to work with at those ages to be an elder. So leave it alone. Your ancestors are not making you special. You are not special. That special that you're going to be a 30-year-old elder. Let's be real. Be willing to put the work in. Put the time in. Put the effort in. And stop putting your faith in 30-year-old elders. Man, I'm saying it like that because it might sound stereotypical, but it's the truth. In order for you to wear any type of title of a leader or an elder, I need your resume to be really, really full of a lot of trial and error. I need your resume to come full with a lot of lows, you know, a lot of ups and a lot of downs. I need to have points of references, which because you need to be validated in the spirit. Forget this round right here. They sell titles on this round. Did you know that? On this round, you can get a couple $1,000s and you can go buy a title. We don't want that. You can't be nothing for me with a title you bought. I'm sorry. It has to be something that you earned. You have to have dominion. What does dominion do? Dominion speak into places and things move. Lack of dominion don't move nothing. It's like the only one that could have spoke to Lazarus and made him move was Christ. Remember? Remember Christ spoke to the dead and the dead got up and jumped? That's because Christ had dominion.
Time for some food, baby.
Time for some action.
We need. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. She gonna learn to go on his own.
Okay, y'all. We're about to go out here.
We gotta get some breakfast.
We going on a breakfast run.
We need a breakfast date.
So send the cash apps to
Hit us up.
the page or the Zelle. Did you put the
Okay.
Zelle there?
I didn't, but if you guys would like to contribute to our breakfast this morning, we would definitely appreciate it, okay?
That's right.
All of our information is on our page. We thank you guys for your energy, your
We
time.
might do a little live from the pumpkin patch later.
Yeah, and also help us eat
We
breakfast.
might do a little something special for you.
Help us eat breakfast so we can come back and have energy to do more videos for you guys.
And look, Banana said, Banana is a Pisces.
No,
he was
a
born
Virgo.
a Virgo.
He was
He was
born
born on September 20th.
his birthday. See his birthday?
See his birthday?
And Banana want to go have breakfast too. Okay?
Banana went the big and easy.
Yeah.
The big and early, I mean. The big and early. The big and early.
Say hi. Hello.
Banana was born September 20th. He a Virgo.
We love you guys.
God bless y'all.
We elemental beings.